course, we've been talking a lot lately about some of the primary elections that have been out there. But as you know, this past Friday, all the city council, well, just about all of the city council elections were determined as who will be running for what. Still, there's still an opening for those who want to replace Councilman Victor Hernandez. That filing deadline still going on right now. But joining us in studio today to talk about his campaign, this for District 2, the most crowded field of candidates, Tiger Pratt. Tiger, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Good morning, guys. Good morning.
Well, thanks for coming on. Tell the audience just a little bit about yourself, those who maybe have not heard of Tiger Pratt before.
Yes. Absolutely. Like you said, my name is Tiger Pratt. I'm originally from Lubbock, born and raised. Actually, 41 years old. Been back home, actually, like I was sharing with you early. Lived in Atlanta, Georgia for about 8 years and then Dallas for about 2 years. But I've actually been home roughly about 12 to 13 years. But like I say, born and raised, went to all the schools here in Lubbock, Texas. Background comes from banking background, financial background. Been in banking for about the last, I guess you could say 10 years of my life. So, beautiful family, my mom, my sisters, and all that great stuff there here. We're all from Lubbock, Texas. I'm the only one that actually kind of moved away a little bit. So, so a little bit about me.
All right. You moved away, but then you came back.
Yes.
Like a lot of people do. Why did you decide to run for city council?
Actually, the reason why that I am actually running, this is nothing new. I want to go ahead and kind of say that this is 17 years in the making. I was just waiting to see when God was going to give me the green light to actually do it. So this is no overnight thing. Like I said, 17 years in the making. So, but the reason why that I've always wanted to run is just the simple fact that I'm a firm believer that God has a plan for every individual. I just really believe that he has a plan and a destiny and a calling for every individual. And I believe that I am called in my own small way to be able to help individuals reach their full potential, and not just individuals, but every household, every family that we're going to have an opportunity to serve in District 2, which is 13,000 households. But the whole premise of my running is because, not to try to spiritualize this or anything, but I'm just going to be honest. Famous scripture that really changed my life. Christ said in his word, he said, for I've come to give you life and life more abundantly. And what's very interesting about that word life is the word Zoe, Zoe. I don't know Greek or Hebrew, but Zoe. And it's really funny because that word literally means the God-ordained life, the God-appointed life, the God-intended life, the God-carved-out life, meaning that for every individual, every household, every family, God has carved out a magnificent plan for their life. He says the God-appointed life, the life that he originally intended, appointed, and carved out for us. And that's why I'm running, because my goal and what I believe he's given me to do, it's going to help people come into that very life that he's carved out for them, that he's appointed and that he has intended for them. And that's why, I'm running, because I think I can be a very small contribution to helping individuals come into that life.
I think a lot of the candidates who have announced that they're running for District 2, and I think you included, have talked about vision for District 2. What is your vision for District 2?
Okay, gotcha. And I'm going to paraphrase. It's really kind of simple. I remember I put a post out there. It says people were asking, and it says like I just said, my vision for District 2 is to help the families and the households come into the complete will of God for their life, their family, and their finances. So that's in a general way. But if you're wanting to know, what my vision is as far as what I'm wanting to accomplish, sure. Upon getting into office, and here's the thing, Chad, where I think this might differentiate me, is that even if I was not to get elected, which that is not the goal. But even if I wasn't, the very thing that I've been holding for 17 years, we will still pursue it. We will still put it in place. We will still implement it, even if I wasn't, to get, to win the position. Because what it is that I'm doing and what it is that I've been given to do for District 2 and for our community, you don't have to really, just solely be in office. You don't really have to solely be in office for the vision that we'll be laying out over the next 2 months as far as what we're going to institute and put in place in order to help the families of District 2.
When you look at District 2, and we'll get into some of the specifics that have come up before the City Council in the past and things that will probably come up before the City Council in the future. But looking back at District 2 specifically, do you think that District 2, and I keep hearing this from residents who are in North and East Lubbock, do you feel as though the City Council has ignored District 2?
Okay, that is a great question. Great question. This is what I've been sharing on the path when people bring this up, and I'm sorry, buddy, but man, I'm a scripture kid. I'm a scripture kid, but and I'm guided by that. I try my best. There are two things that I've been sharing with people. There's a scripture in Ecclesiastes that says, "Judge not a thing before its time." It literally says, "Judge not a thing before its time." And then there's another one that says, "Look well into every matter." Look well into every matter. So when it comes to the subject of has the City Council neglected District 2, I really don't think there is anyone that is running at this time that is properly informed on that is in order to be able to make a decision. When you ask that question, if you're saying that the people that have been elected, if they have willfully, neglected us, if they have just made a decision that we're not going to do anything for that portion of Lubbock, I'm not at liberty to be able to say that. But what I would say is that if we're going to answer that question, there needs to be some homework that needs to be done. I don't think anybody knows how many proposals have ever been presented for District 2 over the last 12 years that Councilman Price has been there. I don't know how many requests and recommendations for development and for upkeep and for maintenance. I don't think any of us that are running actually fully know that answer. I mean, it could be only 14 in a 12-year period, which I know that's not the answer, or it could be over 172 things that were recommended, and how many of that was actually declined, declined or not even declined, but I guess not voted for, I guess would be the answer, because you do have to have 4 votes to, to kind of make some things happen. So I don't think anyone really knows that answer. So I would want to go in and find what are the motions, how many motions were made, and then let's look, what were the votes on that? What was the reason for the dissent? What was the reason for not voting for it before I would actually, say if I feel that was the case or not.
Do you think residents in District 2 feel that way, though?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. That's what I was getting at.
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay. Now, residents, that's great. I'm glad you clarified that. Now, residents, I do believe so. I do absolutely believe so. But from a personal point of view, like I say, I would want to go in, look at the facts first before I made, opinion on that.
Visiting with Tiger Pratt, candidate for District 2, Lubbock City Council. We'll take the break when we come back. We've got a lot of issues to get into. We'll get into some of those issues today and then in other interviews down the road as well. But we'll start off when we come back, getting into some of the issues that the City Council has talked about before and what they will take up in the future here on the Chad Hasty Show with Tiger Pratt, running for District 2 City Council. In studio right now, Tiger Pratt, candidate running for Lubbock City Council. You can visit his website, tigerpratt.com, for more information on there and a little bit more about him and some, future events that you'll be having, correct?
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
Let's get into some of the issues of the day. And one of those is always dealing with, of course, city issues, and the Omni building right now is a big topic at Lubbock City Hall. There are some members of the Lubbock City Council who say, hey, look, it's a decided issue. We don't need to, talk about it anymore. It's, everything's done. We're just going through renovations at this point. Though there are some other people who are running for city council who say this was a bad idea for the city to get involved. What are your thoughts on the Omni building and the city buying that building and renovating it to become the new city hall?
You know what? I think that's actually, I would be, let's be honest, I really don't know a lot about it. It's not like that's been top issue on my calendar or anything like that. But with the plans that are in place to actually make that the new headquarters, from the little bit that I read and the little bit that I understood about it, that I think we're trying to move maybe 4 different departments up under this one, which would allow greater functionality. I think lower cost. I think some people are existing in debilitated buildings that are just old and things like that. So I would have to say I think that is a good ideal. I don't know the cost. I don't know if that's going to affect taxes. I don't know if that's pulling from other budgets that could be could affect a lot of people. I'm not for sure about all that, to be honest. But I do like the concept of us thinking, how can we utilize a structure? Because what's the opposite of that? Are we going to knock it down and then wait for private sector to come in and then someone build something on that ground? Is that going to happen in a year? Is that going to happen in 4 years? Is that going to happen in 8 years? We, really don't kind of know. Or are we just going to knock it down and it just lays flat, and it's a kind of eyesore, within the heart of our community. But like I say, there's a lot of talk, there's a lot of vision going on in the downtown area. So there might even be some plans that's already determined that we don't know yet for that. So where if it was to go down, and we just don't know that yet, but I'm pretty sure there's inside people who might have a track on that. So I would just like to kind of get a little bit more informed in that. But if we can definitely make take that spot and make it available for our city, and do it at an efficient cost, that'd be great. We had
a drive-by caller who was asking a question that I was going to get into, and it was brought up last year at Lubbock City Council, which was a smoking ban. You're a business owner.
Yes, that's correct.
So this gets into the issue of private property rights. Smoking ban was brought up last year. I believe that the person you're seeking to replace, Councilman Floyd Price, was in favor of a smoking ban that would tell businesses you have to ban smoking. If that came up again, where would you stand on that issue?
Okay. Smoking ban. I would have to go with my constituency in District 2. We have several businesses that are in District 2. And I would love to get an idea of what the owners feel about that and what their position is.
Well, how do you feel about it?
Personally, I wouldn't. I would keep the smoking ban in place. Like I said, I've been in banking, for last 12 years. I mean, I definitely, we wouldn't allow people coming in and smoking in the bank. So my view's a little bit different, on that one, because that's just not.
Well, there's currently. You have the current ordinance right now with smoking, but what was proposed would be a just permanent ban on all businesses, whether they be restaurants, bars, clubs, etc., bingo halls. Everywhere would have been forced to ban smoking. So as a business owner, how would you feel about that?
Okay, gotcha. I think the reach is a little bit. Thank you for educating me, because I'm not going to sit here and try to act like I know all these issues. I know certain things what I'm trying to do for the families in District 2, but this is great because this is a city issue. I think that's a little too far for me to do a citywide ban, just forcing all businesses to conform to that ordinance or that law or whatever. I would not be. We would need to have a lot of discussion, a lot of talk to understand, why the far reach, I guess you could say, why it's such a far reach to where we feel that we can ban all businesses from doing something that is acceptable for that owner who's paying taxes. Who's paying business taxes, should have the freedom and the liberty to kind of determine what he wants there in that aspect.
Visiting with Tiger Pratt, candidate for District 2, Lubbock City Council. Same caller, another question they had. I don't know if this will ever come up again at Lubbock City Hall, but it could, and it came up just at the very end of last year. Councilwoman Latrell Joy at that time had proposed a ban on concealed carry and open carry at Lubbock City Council meetings. Let's say you would have been on the City Council at that time. How would you have voted on that issue?
Okay, got you. Once again, I am very strong about not voicing opinion without doing the proper homework and, looking at all the information, looking at all the ideas, opinions, and perspectives. So I don't want to get out ahead of myself on that issue without doing the due diligence and giving the time to look into that, to get the opinions of the voters, the opinions of the constituents throughout District 2 on that. So. I'll leave that at that.
What is your philosophy on the issue of taxes?
Yes. Taxes. That one's easy. Yes. Making sure.
Well, you say it's easy. A lot of politicians say it's easy, and then it's not.
Well, no. When I say it's easy, my position on that one is, I think it's so important to make sure that we are creating the type of environment and the type of culture in the regulatory arenas that allows businesses to be able to really thrive and to be able to really to grow and to really flourish and to reach their maximum potential. So I think definitely making sure that we can do everything in order to, lighten that burden on taxes for business owners, as you know, and really a lot of people don't know, but that is the major driver of our economy, and that's on a national level, is small business, when it comes to employing individuals and families being taken care of. So I am a staunch supporter of making sure that we're creating a regulatory environment, and we are creating an environment where businesses can thrive, and so doing whatever we can to look at keeping taxes low or lowering them. Big proponent of that.
Well, I'm sure that's something that residents in District 2 have spoken to you about that, and I'm sure LPNL as well, and the increasing prices that people are paying with LPNL, correct?
Yes, absolutely. As we know, that's a hot topic with the LPNL situation, and what was the question? Say that again.
Well, what would you do to try to rein in, some of the rising costs there? When it gets passed down to, to the people in District 2, people, throughout the city of Lubbock, when they see price increases go on to their LPNL bill, when they see taxes go up, hurts a lot of people. And in particular, when you look at North and East Lubbock, I would say that a lot of those residents are probably hurt the most. Would you agree with that?
Yes, I would. So this is would be my take. It's a couple of things on this one. One, I remember when, it was a really hot topic, a couple of years ago. And if I'm not mistaken, the information is that it was decided by whatever board or whatever committee that was in place, to keep rates at frozen for a certain amount of time. And I don't even know if this goes back over 8 years ago when that decision, I'm not on it like that, but, to keep rates frozen at a certain rate, but in the market, and where rates were at in the market in real life, they were higher. So when that was suppressed for that amount of years at those levels, then when you eventually have to adjust, because that's not realistic. And that, I think, was one of the main reasons for why the hike was so big.
Tiger Pratt, thanks for coming in today. We're got to wrap up. We'll get you back in studio once the primary season ends and the Lubbock City Council races really start to heat up. Encourage people to go to your website, tigerpratt.com, where they can find out more, right?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you, my friend.
Thanks for coming in.